hopefully. And I hope that the Raiders go into this game with kind of rather than trying to grind out a win, more with let's try and put a few more attacking plays on like we did against the Storm. But it'll really depend on how well they do in the forward battle early on, I suppose, for the Raiders, because they've lost that forward battle even with Papali on the field. They've lost that forward battle in the first 20 minutes the last 2 weeks, I think.
It feels like the Raiders have played a lot of top teams in the first 5 weeks back, haven't they? If you think they've played the Storm, they've played the Eels, they've played Manly. It seems like they've hit a lot of the kind of the teams that they're going to be up against.
They also had a sort of get out of jail win against the West Tigers.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
Some easy fixtures might be around the corner.
Yeah, potentially. They'll look forward to that. I think they need a little bit of attacking confidence found back. That it's. I haven't seen both the halfbacks play well together yet. I've seen one play exceptional or the other play exceptional, but not often. Maybe last week they both played quite well. I don't know, but I think that's kind of it to talk about. It's a bit of a shame that we're going to be losing another one of our Britwatch players in James Graham from the Roosters versus Dragons game, but this might be the last Bulldogs game before we see Luke Thompson playing for them.
Yeah, maybe so.
Other match reviews, we had one in. So Sky have been re-showing over the last week a few different airings of the Bradford versus Wigan 2007 playoff game.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, great. Thanks, Sky.
So did anyone get in touch with us about this one?
No, nobody at all. No, because nobody watches this because, honestly, Sky are trying to give me post-traumatic stress disorder. I swear flipping God. Showing this game, Magic at 2007, it's like it's almost willful and deliberate now. And I am absolutely sick of it. So no, nobody sent us a match review on this.
Did Super League rerun the 2002 grand final as well the other day?
Yes, that was what prompted me to remind myself again about it. Yes.
Well, Fatboy Rob got in touch and he said, I was enjoying this until someone spoiled the ending. Bradford had this won until Matt Cook tried to offload and Calderwood and his ridiculous tash went 80 metres before Pat Richards dropped the winner. Plenty of tackles that would be bans now, and the video ref was loads better before the ref's call came in. That's one of those things that we've been able to reflect on, isn't it? Rather than going over a game that we've talked about a few times during lockdown, because I watched it early on in lockdown. But that's one of the something actually that Rob picks on that is something we've maybe been able to benefit from in this lockdown period. Actually, is looking at some of the old rules and the old interpretations and seeing whether we think it's better now or before. Like very rarely will the people on the rules panels and that sort of thing get the opportunity to sort of sit back and review how it used to be versus how it is and see if perceptions have shifted in that time or if there's anything we can learn from what we did well before or anything that we can sort of reinforce that we're doing better now and sort of use that as examples into to do more better now and chance to reevaluate some stuff.
Yeah, maybe so.
We could reevaluate this one thing I don't think we've talked about when we've talked about this game again. This was the one where Tommy Luluai scored the try where he dropped it and caught it, weren't it?
I don't know. I can't remember. Stop trying to give me PTSD. I don't remember.
But I thought I'd mention Tommy Luluai because it's his 35th birthday on day of recording today. So probably the pound for pound hardest hitter in Super League.
He has shoulders that don't really, shouldn't be attached to his body, if you know what I mean.
They are granite, yeah.
A guy like that should have been retired with separated shoulders by now, really, for a guy of his size. So there's obviously something genetically there that he's got some kind of predisposition to increased bone density or something, because he really can hit hard. I'll give you that for not bad for a little guy.
Well, his kids will have his genes and Darryl Goulding's genes, so surely we could make some future Wigan stars there out of that.
There's some genetic engineering going on there down at Robin Park, obviously.
No, he's married to Darryl Goulding's sister. They're not splicing.
Yeah, no, that's a kind of splicing, if you like.
Yeah, fair enough. Thanks for that, though, Rob. It's always nice to reminisce about that game, isn't it, Al?
No, it's not.
Okay. We will now move on to the SLP quiz, which, as I hinted at the top, teased at the top, it's about players who've went to the NRL and came back. It's quiz time.
It is.
Quiz time. So I've got a few varieties of questions for you, Alan, and we'll see how well you. I've kind of got 4 questions, but I've not, because one of the questions has got 5 parts. So I think that means I've got 8 questions. And the last question's worth 3 points. It's all over the place, this quiz, but
it's exciting.
We'll probably do it in the format of. No, I'll ask. You give a pause for let people to give a chance to give their answers, and then you give your answer, and we'll tell everyone if they're correct each time.
Cool.
So, first one's a who am I? I was born in Australia, but made my name in Super League, winning a grand final in the season before and the season after my one injury hit campaign in the NRL in 2017. Who am I?
Grand finals in 16 and 18. Over here. Injury hit over there in 17. Is it just one clue?
You've made it. I don't need to repeat the clues because you've spelled them out, haven't you?
Yeah, I understand the question. I just don't have an answer.
You want another clue? He was born in Australia, but he is an England international. So he's English. He just happened to be born in Australia.
Oh, God.
Started his career at Hemel. Well, started his development at Hemel.
I don't know.
Dan Sargentson.
Oh, Dan Sargentson.
I thought that was a slam dunk.
I never think of Dan Sargentson. He's just a play. He's eminently forgettable to me. I don't know.
You've got an issue because he features in one of the questions later on as well.
Oh, there you go. Then that's 1 point missed. Go on.
Number 2. This is a 50-50, so pretty good chance. Pretty good chances they are, aren't they? Adrian Morley had a 6-year NRL career, winning a big reputation at the Roosters before returning to Super League to play for Warrington. But did Moz play more times for the Roosters or more times for the Wire?
A man not unused to a suspension or two, but that was the case everywhere. I'm going to say he played purely due to a longer season. I'm going to say he played more for Wire.
He did, yeah. He played 173 games for Wire, whereas he only played 114 for the Roosters, even though he only played 1 season longer at Warrington.
There you go.
And was older.
Yes.
But anyway, question 3, which is a 5-parter.
Okay.
So, Joe Burgess, Greg Eden, Scott Moore, Lee Mossop, Dan Sargentson, and Joe Wardle are all players in the last decade to have only played 1 season in the NRL before returning to Super League.
Okay.
So there's 5 questions. First one is, which of the 6 played the most times in the NRL? Do you want me to give the names again?
Please.
Joe Burgess, Greg Eden, Scott Moore, Lee Mossop, Dan Sargentson, and Joe Wardle.
I think that might have been Sargentson.
No. It was Joe Wardle. He actually featured 17 times in total for the Knights in 2017.
For the Knights? Oh, God. And the Knights were really shit.
Castleford.
Okay.
Question B, or part B. Which of the 6 played the fewest times in the NRL? I'm not even going to give you a clue whether it is or isn't Dan Sargentson because I want you to say him for every question.
I'm going to say Scott Moore.
No, it was Lee Mossop.
Injury problems.
Yeah, he only had 3 games before his shoulders gave in at Parramatta in 2014.
Oh, man. Okay.
So from that list of 6, you might have noticed it was missing one player who only played in one season down under, but he didn't play he wasn't at the club for the full season, and that was Zach Hardacre. Okay.
Yeah.
But how many of the 6 players that played a full or were attached to clubs for a full season in the NRL played more times in the NRL than Zach Hardacre did in his 2016 loan spell with the Penrith Panthers?
Now, recollection is that Zach played about 6 games. That's my recollection. So I'm going to say 3.
It was only 2.
Okay.
Joe Burgess and Joe Wardle. Zach actually played 11 times for Penrith.
How did he play 11?
Including 2 playoff matches. None of the other 6 played any playoff matches.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Which of the 6 scored the most tries in the NRL? So Zach's out of this, even though he only scored 1 anyway, so he wouldn't be topping the charts. But
I seem to remember. Joe Burgess definitely scored for both Souths and the Roosters, so I'm going to go for Joe Burgess.
Yes, you're correct. Joe Burgess had a fantastic strike rate of 7 tries in 13 games in the NRL, which I think is pretty impressive. 2 in 4 for the Roosters, 5 in 9 for the Rabbitohs.
There you go.
And then, finally, part E. How many of the 6 failed to score any tries? So, again, you've got a 1 in 6 chance.
I'm going to say 2.
No, it was 3. Scott Moore, Lee Mossop and Dan Sargentson all failed to score tries in their 6, 3 and 5 appearances respectively, I think.
I kind of assumed that Mossop and Moore, but I kind of thought that Sargentson didn't even know. But anyway.
He should have done, but he didn't, yeah.
Yeah, eminently forgettable. Yeah, forgettable, that's fine.
Okay, question 4. Put the following 3 players who returned to the Super League after multi-year stays in the NRL in order of how many NRL games they played, lowest to highest. So I want you to put them in order of how many NRL games they played from the lowest number to the highest number. In alphabetical order, the players are Luke Burgess, Mike Cooper and Gareth Ellis.
I'm going to go Luke Burgess, Mike Cooper, Gareth Ellis.
You got Ellis right. The other 2 were the other way around. Cooper played 69, Burgess played 71, and Ellis played 75. Remarkably, Burgess was there for 6 seasons in total.
I can't believe he played 70 games. That's unbelievable. Luke Burgess played over 70 games in NRL. That's astonishing. Anyway. Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. Didn't do great this week.
Nah.
Next time you're on, you can do the quiz.
Yeah, I will do. I'll have my revenge.
Yeah. When I wrote this one, I didn't think it was that hard.
But
I mean, it would have been hard for Sarah, because Sarah wouldn't have watched the NRL at all during any of these players' times in the NRL. So I wouldn't have done it to Sarah. Anyway,
it wasn't hard.